Now, as a job seeker or a learner, let's see how to create your profile, edit it, as well as create resumes, both normal as well as bilingual. So click on your name. You will see the edit personal details, where you will see all the personal details that you already fed. You can you can always change these data except your email address, and you can add any information if you want, and then click update. Let me just add father name, education, hobbies, and the other details. So once I update, all the details will be available here. Now let's see how to create your normal resume. For that, you can click on the My Resume icon on the dashboard, or you can go to the menu, Job Site, Resume Manager, and Resumes. So here you can have multiple normal resumes, but only the resume with the search status S. By search status, you can see in the bottom of this page, you will see the resume search status, which should be S. You had to fill all the other details. After filling all the details, you will make sure that search status is yes for this resume to appear for the recruiter. If it is no, this resume that you created will be only with you and not be visible for the recruiter. So again, you will fill skill details, language details. You can have your education details. You can have multiple records of your educational detail. Let's say one for the school, one for your UG, one for your PG, everything. Same goes for job experience. You can fill your company details, your previous work experience, and the location, everything. And here also you can have multiple records. Let's say you worked in 2 or 3 companies, you can have all the information as multiple records as well. You can add the references from your previous company. You can upload some data, which can be your profile picture. You can upload your resume that you have as a document in your hand. You can upload a selfie video. You can also link some external URLs, and once you are done, click on the confirm button that you see in the end of the screen, and your resume will be created. And when you click on the manage resumes, you will be directed to the my resumes page, where you will see the list of resumes. The last one is the one that we have created, and the second one is the one that is already S. So you can duplicate the resume, you can view the resume, you can see the report, you can edit it, you can delete it if you want. Now let's say I want to make this resume as my default resume that is visible to the recruiter. I will click the search status as yes, and I will update. So once I make this as yes, only this resume will be available for the recruiter. On all the other resumes that has yes will be changed to no. I can also edit the records if I want. Let's say I have added an education detail or a skill detail as a record, and I can also always go back and change the record. I can edit or add any details if I want. I can even add a self-intro video of me like presenting myself to the recruiter. So once I make the changes, I will click confirm. I can view the resume and I will see the changes. So all the data that I have fed to the system will be available here. And I can view them in the list of my resume page. I'll just hit the refresh to see the search status difference. So previously it was the second one which was yes. As I have changed the search status of the last one to yes, now it has been reflected. So now the recruiter will be able to see the last resume that I have. Now let us move to bilingual resume. So it will be available under job site, resume manager, and then bilingual resume. So as you can see, you can same as in normal resume, you can have multiple bilingual resumes, and only one resume will be searchable yes, which will be available for the recruiter and the constant admin. So let me just add a resume. So you will fill the Japanese proficiency info in this tab. You will fill all the personal details in the following tab. I will just add one resume for your reference. So as you can see, as I fill the details on the left hand side, which is the English side, the details are automatically translated and populated in the Japanese side. Now, if you have noticed something, the favorite sports I play, this is volleyball and this is the Japanese translation of volleyball. Let's say I'm changing this to something else. Do you think this will change in the Japanese side as well? Surprisingly, no. This is because we have a functionality where the recruiter will be changing the or correcting the Japanese grammatical mistakes or the translation mistakes manually. So if I make a change here and every time the recruiter changes and it gets reflected, the purpose of correction will be overlooked. So that is why if I have to make a change, I have to clear the Japanese side first, then I have to come here to the English side and enter and then click outside or give a tab. You can see now it is cricket in Japanese. So let's change it again to something else. So I will clear both the data. I will say basketball, and now you will see the Japanese translation of basketball. So in order to make a change, both the fields should be clear. In particular, the Japanese field should be cleared first so that whatever change you make in the English will appear on the Japanese side. If there is already data on the Japanese side and you are making a change in the English side, it won't be reflected on the Japanese side unless and until I make a manual change on the Japanese side. So let me proceed with the other data that I want to fill. Now here you will see the resume search status, same as in the normal resume. If the search status is yes, it will be available for the recruiter or the consumer admin. If it is no, it won't be available and it will be only within you. You can have multiple resumes with no and only one resume as yes. time keep it as S. And this resume will be available for the recruiter. Now let us see, if I want to save this resume as a draft, I will click as save as draft. What this will do is, whatever change that I have made until that point of time will be saved as a draft, and by default the search status will be no. Even if I had given yes within the creation, if I save it as a draft, the searchable status will be no. This is because the draft should not appear to the recruiter. So unless and until you submit, if it is a draft, even when you give it as search status yes and you save it as a draft, it will be no. The point of the save draft feature is to add save the resume at any point of time and continue it for later. Now let's come to the educational details, and as you can see, there is already one record and I haven't given any. This is because this educational record was fetched from the normal resume that I've created previously. So in the normal resume I have selected yes. So the normal resume with search status yes, those educational details, work experience, whatever I have within that normal resume will be populated here. Also, you could have seen some details automatically populated on the personal details, which were taken from the edit personal details that we did first. So if I have my data on edit personal details and then on normal resume, they will be auto populated here, and you just have to fill the remaining data. If there is no normal resume in the system, I can directly come and create a bilingual resume. Let me add the work experience first. So as I was saying, you can, without creating a normal resume, you can also create a bilingual resume if you want. But if there is a normal resume, the details will be captured here for your convenience. You can add the family details with their monthly wage, phone number, etc. And you can have multiple records. Let's say you can add the details of your father, your mother, your brother, sister, your spouse. You can add all the records. You can always edit and update a record. You're clicking on the edit button and then clicking on update. There can be multiple records if I want. As I mentioned in the normal resume, you can have as many records as you want. So here, let me give you an example. There was one language detail. Let me add another one. Let's say English, and you can see there are two language details now. Same way you can add for a skill, family members. Your previous work experience could be more than one. Your educational details can be more than one. Now let's go to the other details. So here you can fill all the details that you need to fill. You can skip those which are non-mandatory if you want. It totally depends on the requirement or the job that you are applying for. So for some jobs, these fields might be mandatory, so you have to fill accordingly. So once you have all the details, you can either update it as a draft or save it by clicking on the update bilingual resume. Now let us save this as by clicking on update bilingual resume. Now as you can see, the candidate number is generated NE00150009 and the searchable status is yes. Now let's edit this As you can see now, there is no save draft feature because it's already submitted, and now we can edit it. So whatever change I make is an edit, so there is no need for the save draft feature. I can always change whatever details I give. So if you see in the ad, you see that ensure all fields are filled. This button will change into submit once you fill all the details. So once you submit this bilingual resume, it will be moved to the constituent admin for his approval. Once constituent admin makes the changes if he wishes and then approves the resume, it will be moved to the recruiter for viewing. So the recruiter will be able to match this resume for the job he is having and connect it if he wants.